Today on One Man Garage, we're tearing into these dirty ass 6X-8 400 heads to really just to rob these oil shields, because I need them to complete these other 6X8 heads to go on my buddy's 455 that we bagged up a long time ago and didn't finish building. And we'll probably use these shims too. I have some other valve springs off some other heads that are a little better than stock, close to what we need. But it's a little tech tip. You know, a lot of people got these. This happens in Oldsmobile 350s too in a different way, but Pontiacs, whatever, there's people building engines, professional or not, and you know, Pontiac stuff just bolts up and fits, right? Well, you have to know all the minutia, the numbers, compression ratios, because these are 400 heads. They have a 101 cc combustion chamber. They never came on a 350, but they fit. Well, these were on a 350 Pontiac that was already rated, factory rated 7.6 to 1, and that's always overrated from the actual, and those heads off that motor originally would have been anywhere from 89 to 93 cc chamber. Now let's compare that to a Chevy 350 for a second. 9 to 1 flat top piston 350 Chevys with a smog era 76 to 79 cc combustion chamber are rated 9 to 1. So let's think about that for a minute. That's almost 20 cc's smaller head, or 15 cc's whatever, than the 7.6 to 1 350 Pontiac. Now change that to 101 cc's from say 93. So now you're at 6 1/4 to 1 compression, maybe, except the piston might be below deck and a little bit low compression, so it might be 6.0 to 1. Yeah, that's what was going on with this. Not really torquey that way. Guys, gals, know all the numbers. Like 6X, it's not just 6X, okay? Because I made 350 6X heads, and right here on this little boss area, this is like AC bracket holes. This is an unused little edge that's probably related to machining this, but they stamped this. See, there's an 8 on there. That's the 400 head. A 6X with a 4 there is a 350 head, and that would have been the same and interchangeable with the 74, 73 350 head. So then it would have been acceptable stock replacement, except it would have the bigger 211 intake valve on a 74, which is fine, because that's the way the 77 350s came. So you just got to know these things, people. It's just like I've seen smog 455 heads on a 350, a 76 6H head. It's like 120 cc combustion chamber. What is that, 5 to 1 compression on a 350? I mean, it's just I'm not going to cuss, but I'm thinking it in my head. So it's just really bad. So, and then the 350 olds I may have mentioned before, they have tons of super low compression pistons at all the rebuilder places, but then even with a high compression head on that piston, it's only 7.8 to 1 or maybe less. And if it has the later 73 and later olds head, it's like 6 to 1 compression. So it's kind of a similar problem. The pistons are all wrong for the chamber size, and it's extremely low compression. So this is just something, if you got Pontiacs or know anybody, they really need to learn this stuff. The car owners need to know, and God's sakes, whoever's working on engines needs to know. And anyway, I'm going to get back to getting my hands dirty, enjoying a little vacation time here at the old One Man Garage. See you later. So, got both heads tore down, and here's another level of quality. Most, you know, just stone stock rebuilders, they don't put new valve springs, they don't measure installed height or check anything. They just throw a shim under the old spring with a stock cam to get a little more seat pressure out of old springs. Except one of them didn't have a shim and all the rest did, so I think they just put it together and missed it, because I'm pretty damn sure none of these were checked. And for some of you that think, oh wait, he's going to use new old valve springs on a set of heads, well, if he doesn't have any money to buy new ones, and I'm just helping a brother out. I saved these performance springs off a set of high compression GTO Firebird 68 heads, and I did some testing of pressures. I actually bought a pretty decent Proform valve spring tester you can put in a vise. I thought this would be handy and use this little wood clampety thing I got at Harbor Freight where I got my dial caliper, because I can just squeeze that dude down to it and then measure an installed height measurement and see the pressure. So I'll probably do that to one of these just to see how bad it is. Stock Pontiac is like 1.59 inches, 1.60, right in around there. Of course, you know, you rebuild a head and the seat gets a little bit lower, it could make the installed height bigger, and that's what the shim's supposed to be for, not to just shim more pressure, because you got to have valve clearance, especially if you go to a higher lift cam, which obviously will be the case. So not going to use those. But anywho, yeah. And I think stock motors are like 90 pounds. I mean, if you get to 100, it's better than stock, pretty sure. 110, 115, 110 and 115 pounds is about all you need for a hydraulic flat tappet to be fine on a Pontiac, especially a 455, because it peaks at low RPM. Not going to be zinged up as far as a 400 would with the same cam. So anyway, that's some of the tools I've been using to check pressure, and we'll see how it goes. So I tighten these down tighter than stock, so it's at 156. And look what we got. Oh wow, 50 pounds. Yeah, that's nice. So I got one of the good valve springs, and I had some other shims that were half the thickness of the ones I just pulled off that were missing one, which they measured about 65 or 66 thou. And these were 32 each or 33 each. It came out to two of them was exactly like the others. So I crushed this down to right around installed height, the 160, and I was getting about 110 on the seat, which is exactly what the cam calls out for the Urson TQ50 that basically got for nothing. It's new. It's in the 455 getting these heads. That's like a 228, 235 at 50, 110 LSA. It'll work good at 9-to-1. Normally you want a 112 or wider on a 455, but it's not 10-to-1, it's 9-to-1. So make good cylinder pressure at 9 and not detonate on 93 octane or 91 probably. And we're also using 027 Cometic head gaskets to get a little more compression out of it, better quench, which will be down around, what's 15 and 27 is about 43 thousandths quench, guesstimate. So anyway, I'm real pleased with that. So save your parts, man. The shims and the performance springs. Throw away the 50-pound springs in the recycle bucket. Just saying. Thanks for watching. Do it right. Do it once.